Ever feel like there's this like secret millionaire mindset that everyone else seems to know except you?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into Secrets of the Millionaire Mind to try to figure that out.
Oh, I love that book. It's so interesting how Harv Eker
Mm-hmm.
argues that it's not really about, like, what we know,
Yeah.
like our knowledge about finances. It's about our subconscious beliefs.
Really?
Yeah, like what we believe about money deep down. He calls it our money blueprint.
Oh, money blueprint. So it's like instead of just learning how to invest or budget, we need to actually look at those deep-seated beliefs that are kind of running in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know how your computer has an operating system?
Mm-hmm.
He compares it to that. Like, if the code is messed up, it doesn't matter how good your software is, you're going to have issues.
Wow.
Same with money. A poor money blueprint can totally sabotage even our best efforts.
Okay, that's a powerful image. And Ecker claims he actually used this whole concept to go from broke to being a millionaire in just a couple of years.
He did. Yeah, and he talks about how others have done it too.
Wow.
He uses the example of Donald Trump like bouncing back from bankruptcy, and he attributes it to Trump's like really strong billionaire mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when things went wrong, that core belief that he could create wealth stayed strong.
So how do we even begin to rewrite our own blueprints? Like, if these beliefs are so deeply ingrained, how do we even know what they are, let alone change them?
Well, Eker says it's a 4-step process, and it starts with awareness. We got to identify those kind of invisible scripts we picked up in our lives.
Invisible scripts, what do those look like?
Okay, so think about it. Like, what did your parents always say about money?
Oh, money doesn't grow on trees.
Exactly. We can't afford that.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just like witnessing arguments about money growing up. All of those experiences shape our perceptions of wealth from when we're really young.
Wow, I never thought about it that way, but it makes so much sense. If you grow up associating money with stress, it's going to be hard to attract it, right?
Totally. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand.
Exactly.
And sometimes these scripts, they're even more deeply rooted in specific events, emotionally charged memories.
Like what? Can you give me an example?
Yeah, so Eker talks about this woman who realized her fear of men controlling her money came from seeing her dad always put her mom down about finances.
Oh, wow.
So this fear was driving all her money decisions without her even knowing it.
That's incredible. So she had this like subconscious link between men and money and all of this negativity. No wonder she was struggling. So that's step one, awareness. What comes after that?
So next we go from just recognizing these scripts to actually like understanding how they're playing out in our lives.
Okay.
That's where things get really interesting. So now that we're like aware of some of those hidden scripts, we can get into how to actually like change them,
Yeah, how do we reprogram ourselves for wealth?
Okay, well, Eker lays out these 17 like wealth files. They're these mindsets and habits that rich people have that can completely change the game.
Okay, so what are these wealth files?
So like one interesting one is how people who are struggling tend to focus on the obstacles.
Yeah.
But wealthy people,
Yeah.
they see opportunity.
So it's like they're looking at the same situation, but with a totally different perspective. How do you even shift your thinking like that?
It's about rewiring how you think to see the potential instead of the risks. Playing the long game. Building wealth takes time.
No get-rich-quick schemes.
Nope. It's about changing your whole approach, to money and opportunity.
Right. Okay, so how they see opportunity, that's one. What else?
Another big one is goals. Eker says if you're aiming for comfortable, you're going to stay stuck.
Okay.
To be rich, your goal has to be RICH.
He doesn't mess around, does he?
Nope. It's about breaking free from those beliefs that limit what you think you can achieve. Embracing abundance.
I love that. Okay, another one of his wealth files that really stood out to me was the whole idea of surrounding yourself with successful people.
Oh yeah, he calls it flying with eagles, not swimming with ducks.
I get it. Your network shapes your net worth.
Exactly. The people you're around, they influence your mindset so much.
Totally. If you're hanging out with people who are always complaining about money, it's going to be harder to break out of that yourself.
Exactly. And then, like, Eker gets into some really specific advice about managing money.
Yeah.
Saving 10% for the long term.
Okay. Makes sense.
But also having a separate account where you actually let yourself spend 10% each month.
Wait, so he's saying you should spend money on yourself?
Yeah. It's about having a good relationship with money. It's not just about hoarding it.
So you can enjoy it too.
Exactly.
That makes me feel better, actually. I like that.
Yeah. And he says managing money isn't about being good with numbers.
Real.
It's about building those positive habits.
So it's like anything else, you have to practice.
Exactly. And he says it's not always easy. He says you have to, like, tame the cobra of fear. Be willing to get uncomfortable.
He's definitely challenging us to take control of our money and not just wait for things to happen.
That's it. And in the end, he says true wealth is measured by your net worth, not just how much money you make.
So it's not about your income, it's about what you do with it.
Yeah, it's about having assets that work for you.
Creating financial freedom. Okay, so we've talked about a lot. Uncovering our money blueprints, Eker's wealth files, it's a lot to process, but knowing all this is only half of it, right?
Yeah.
How do we actually put it into practice?
That's the million-dollar question, and that's what we'll get into next.
So we've unpacked all these wealth files, right?
Yeah.
But how do we actually use them? Like, I get it, but how do I make it real?
Well, that's where those practical exercises he talks about come in. At the end of each chapter, Eker gives you some things to do.
Okay.
They're designed to help you actually, like, reprogram your mind.
Right, because it's not enough to just read it.
Exactly. It's about taking action. And he also talks about these declarations.
Oh, yeah, like affirmations.
Kind of, yeah. But he likes declaration better because it's more, more committed. It's like you're not just hoping for something. You're saying this is how it is.
So instead of saying, I am wealthy, which might feel, I don't know.
Yeah, a little too far out there right now.
Yeah, you could say, I'm committed to becoming financially free.
Exactly. You're aligning your thoughts and actions with what you want.
It's like setting an intention. That makes sense. And then he also has some more unusual methods, like touching your head and saying, I have a millionaire mind.
I know, right? Sounds a little out there.
It does.
But he's using the idea of, I think it's called embodied cognition, like using your body to help with the mental shift.
It's like you're anchoring it in. Okay, that's interesting. So much of this is about those really deep down patterns.
It is. And it's about realizing that change has to happen on all those levels. Mental, emotional, even physical.
Wow. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one wealth file that really spoke to you? And what's one thing you're taking away from this to try yourself?
You know, for me, it's managing money well. It's easy to forget about the simple things when you're caught up in everything else.
Totally.
But like Eker says, you don't have to be a genius to be good with money.
You just need the right habits.
Exactly. And I love his idea of the, what did he call it? The play account.
Oh, yeah. Like actually giving yourself permission to enjoy some of it.
It is. It's a good reminder.
That money isn't just for stressing over.
Right. And, you know, he says you should celebrate your wins along the way. Like, have a financial freedom day every month to look at your progress.
Oh, I like that.
Acknowledge how far you've come.
It's a journey, not a destination.
That's it. Even small steps done consistently, they make a huge difference.
They really do. And, you know, it's inspiring that Eker believes we need more people who are playing big, not just for themselves, but for the world. Like, what if we all stepped into our full potential? That's a powerful thought.
It is.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's been great.
Yeah.
Now go out there and make it happen.
Yeah. Create the financial future you want.
Yeah.